First of all, what did you make of Biden's sort of victorious tone when he was talking about, yes, assassinating Zawahiri, however you want to say it, the new number one after you took out the old number one, bin Laden. It's good. It's a military victory. He gave the command, so you can't take that away from the guy. And it's something that we liked. We don't want this guy alive. But I just couldn't believe sort of the audacity for him to swagger out there and even mention the word Afghanistan without a look of shame.
I know it seems like a lot less than just a year ago. We had the worst military blunder or series of blunders in the military ever. And I mean, I can't, he did, on paper gave the call to make this thing happen. And as someone who's basically been wrong in every decision he's ever made as far as foreign policy in the 5 decades he's been in Washington, he should be a little bit happy about it. I wish he would have given more credit to the group of people who found him, the men and women who found the pattern of life of Ayman al-Zawahiri and where he was going, where they knew they would be. And they even took even though, the Haqqani network and the Taliban and al-Qaeda are just ruthless and brutal to us, they took the time to make sure he would be by himself. And they used a missile that a lot of people didn't even know existed. That it's designed off a Hellfire, which originally was designed to fire from an Apache attack helicopter and destroy enemy tanks. And now they've got it to a point where it'll just cut things apart, split them in pieces, and no one inside was even hurt. And which I think is great. I would love to minimize collateral damage. I always think that children should never, ever be on a list. And they made a direct effort, and it was a complete success. I can't imagine, though, the pain it was to go through to make that happen, because I know even before, I left the Navy in 2012, watching the woke mentality get into places like the CIA. I had guys that were agents in different parts of the world that I won't even mention that were getting out before retirement because they couldn't put up with it. And just that nonsense of what pronouns we use and what we can do where and how we can't offend and watch out for this. They were able to get this done. And, the buck stops here. The president made the call. So he should be able to say we got him. But, there's a lot of baggage behind that, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't want you to do what you did. He had advised Barack Obama not to go in on the mission that you carried out so successfully, you and your fellow service personnel. So he was wrong about bin Laden. This one he was right on. Glad Zawahiri's gone. What do you make of the way they did it, though? Because you speak about this sort of new Hellfire missile offshoot, but there was some criticism by Mark Thiessen and others saying, why didn't we send today's Rob O'Neill in there so we could have gotten some intelligence? You told me about all the stuff you guys got during the bin Laden raid. You didn't tell me about all of it, but you told me about some. And we didn't get anything because of the way we did this.
Well, this one was a tougher target to take down than the safe house bin Laden was in. And as I think Trevor Noah said on the Daily Show, they should stop calling these places safe houses. They should call them a place where you think you're safe until something happens. But just with how they're surrounded by, there's Taliban, Haqqani, al-Qaeda everywhere. The police are not on our team. Anyone who was on our team when we were there, if their heads haven't been cut off in front of their families, they're on the side of the bad guys. And we don't have bases on the way in. There's nowhere to fuel up. There's nowhere to go. There's not escape and evasion or anywhere to go. And so this is just an easy way to make sure he was off the deck, and they knew it was him. The way they found him had to be somebody got paid somewhere, the almighty dollar or the almighty euro, whatever we were using. Mm-hmm. Someone knew there was, because we had a $25 million bounty on this dude's head, Zawahiri. And it goes to show you that I'm still amazed that some local on the ground intelligence assets will still work for us, because we've proven we don't really have any loyalty. But again, this is just something it all comes back to, and this includes us, we just cannot stay off of our phones. We got to have the phone. And even if Zawahiri wasn't on his phone, I guarantee someone around him was on his phone. Someone's talking about somebody. It's just they can't. It's like someone had to tag someone on Instagram. Look, hey, look at me. I'm with the new boss or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm not privy to exactly how they did it, but that's the gist, is people don't know when to shut up. Probably present company included. Sorry.
Well, it's crazy how, like, the very guy, al-Haqqani, who wrote that op-ed in the New York Times, which led to a lot of blowback on the New York Times, even from its staffers saying, what the hell are we doing? This is pre the Doha agreement, saying, look, we pulled a quote. For more than 4 decades, precious Afghan lives have been lost every day. Everyone has lost someone they loved. Everyone is tired of war. I am convinced that the killing and the maiming must stop, Haqqani wrote. Okay, so this guy's saying, this Taliban leader, let's make an end to this. Let's find an end to this. This is the guy who is housing Zawahiri. Just as soon as we left and they promised we won't protect anybody from Al-Qaeda, we're not going to become a safe haven for Al-Qaeda again, Haqqani's like, how about literally this little pink house that I have? You can come live here with your whole family. You're going to love it. You can walk around, life can resume. You can do your terror videos. Welcome to Afghanistan. And in he moved. Now he's dead, but Haqqani's alive and well, and the agreement has been breached. What are we going to do about it? And what does all of this tell us about our policy?
Well, the Doha agreement, we knew there's nothing there except them lying to us. And the word, lie gets thrown around quite a bit. He's not big. These guys are really lying. Instead of having diplomats try to do this, they should have had, I was a battlefield interrogator. We would go into Al-Qaeda houses in Iraq, Afghanistan, different places. And I was one of the first guys to yank them out of bed as they peed their pants and get into their heads about what they're doing. And they're going to lie. So they lied during that. The Haqqanis, they've been around since the 70s. They were the Haqqani network, radical and ruthless. We were funding them when they were fighting the Soviets in the 80s. Our hands are by no means clean on any of this, but we know exactly who they are. They're not going to tell us the truth, and they don't give a rip about human life. These are people that know that, and I'm still not saying they know that when they get martyred, they're going right to heaven to be in their big mansion with 72 houses with a virgin in each and that kind of stuff. They don't care about what happens on Earth. They certainly don't care about the civilians. They don't want the war to end. Haqqani is not just radical Islamists. They're also criminals, and they love power and they love money. They can get all of this. Just get rid of the Americans. They know that we don't have the stomach for a long war. We also don't have the strategies. We don't know how to end a war. The last war we won, I think, was in 1945, and we unfortunately are the only nation in the history of nations to drop nuclear weapons on another country, which we did. But we don't know how to win it since then. We didn't know what we were doing in Korea or Vietnam. We didn't really know what we're doing in Grenada or Panama. We didn't know what the first Gulf War. We managed to tell the Shia that we'll get Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait and we'll rush right to Baghdad. And then we didn't. And then he slaughtered a lot of the Shia. And then right now in Afghanistan, which we had won in 2004, we just stayed there for a long, long time. So they know that we're a 24-hour news cycle type of people, and everyone's sick of the war and they're tired of hearing about it. And they're going to forget about Zawahiri next week. And it's going to be no one's going to say never forget until they come across our southern border and attack us ruthlessly again. So Haqqani's going to lie. His whole family's going to lie. And they're not living. Their biggest problem right now, other than ninja rockets coming out of the sky, is that it's about 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the only problem. And maybe some doors don't have indoor plumbing.
Are you tired of feeling like someone's always watching you on the internet? Maybe the advertisers know a little bit too much about you and have got a little too creepy. Or you are concerned about the privacy of your identity. Using incognito mode does not solve the problem either. IPVanish VPN is here to protect your right to privacy and to help you stay anonymous online. IPVanish helps you safely browse the internet without exposing your private details to third parties. You can use IPVanish on your computer, your tablet, your phone, even devices like your Fire Stick when you are streaming media. When you use IPVanish, all of your data is encrypted. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. It's that simple. And right now, IPVanish is offering an incredible 70% off their yearly plan for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. That is like getting 9 months for free. IPVanish is super easy to use. All you do is tap one button. You're instantly protected. Take your privacy back today with a brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Go to ipvanish.com/Megyn and use that promo code Megyn to claim your 70% savings. That's ipvanish.com/MEGYN. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.